So, I want to talk a little bit about yoni steaming and yoni herbs and also just using logic and reasoning. Back maybe 2 years ago, when I first discovered about yoni pearls, detox pearls, I started to use them and I started to sell them because I had a very good result. And I was getting a good result, getting them from a good source. But then when I learned of all the controversy and done a little bit more research myself, I decided consciously as a business owner to no longer sell them because I don't make those pearls. People can tell you whatever they want about what's in them, but there's a lot of fake shit out there. So I decided as a business that I was no longer going to sell the pearls. The moment that I said that, the amount of people who have contacted me for pearls, but with integrity, it's not about making money. I like to know what I'm doing, and hand on heart, I want to be able to say that, if there's a problem, God forbid, that I know exactly what's in there. But when you can't swear and put your hand on your heart about something, that could be dangerous. And I've heard of so many nightmare stories about what's happening with yoni pearls. So as a conscious business owner, I decided not to sell them anymore. Now, I want to talk a little bit about yoni steaming, and I want to talk a little bit about yoni eggs, because here's the thing. This is where logic comes into play and not ego. So really, when we think about it, in an ideal world, if we was eating a perfectly balanced diet and we wasn't surrounded by toxicity, toxic relationships, toxic chemicals, toxic environment, toxic thoughts, toxic behaviors and patterns, yes, the yoni is self-cleaning and self-cleansing and it doesn't need anything but water. But let's be real, we don't live in that society anymore. We are constantly, as women, bombarded with chemicals, laden with stress and so on and so forth. So therefore, the body releases certain toxic chemicals, which can cause the pH of the vagina to go off, causing malodor, etc. So the one thing that I can't stand to see, because, we as people were very judgy, when we judge other people on their self-care practices, and I was on a post the other day on Monday, and for some reason Spirit made me see this, because I don't normally go on people's posts and start saying stuff and defending, but I felt I had to say something. Now, this gentleman expressed his preference for women who use yoni steams and yoni eggs, which was cool, and he was like, don't use that douching stuff because you end up smelling like tuna fish and vinegar. And he's right. And I liked what he said because he was very balanced. He wasn't emotional about how, the information was received. He basically was like, do what's right for you. He was very open. Now, the women on this post were attacking other people for their self-care practices, laughing at them, telling them that, you really only do yoni steams and yoni eggs just to keep your snatch tight for your man. First of all, there's nothing wrong with that. But why can't we do that in order to keep a balance for ourselves? Why does it always have to be attached to something outside of ourselves? One. Number two, why are we laughing at women who choose to heal themselves using traditional or ancient practices? Three, you can never discount food. Food is always paramount because food also dictates how the pH of your vagina is. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases. So, my thing is use a holistic approach to everything that you do. You cannot discount one from the other. It's about aligning spiritually. It's about aligning physically, mentally, all that. You have to put all of those elements together to come into one beautiful resolution. So my thing was, okay, so there was women in the post advertising their businesses, and I thought, okay, so let me just give you some facts. So I posted about yoni eggs. I was like, yoni eggs are not just about having a tight snatch. Yoni eggs transcend physical, etc., etc. Then I posted, but then I wanted to have balance because it's all good and well for them to be talking about us women. But I was like, but us women too, we like a man who keeps his phallus fresh. So I used it all as an opportunity to market myself. The conversation was going good. Still people being ignorant. There was a woman who came on and was like, oh, please, you don't need none of that. You just need such and such, eat a balanced diet and so on. But it was her whole tone. It was very dismissive and very patronizing. So I said, not if you have ailments. Our ancestors practiced that. Well, who told me to say this? This chick went off, told me about, I'm trying to make my coins, just being sarcastic. And then, and there was another person that was saying, people are only selling yoni steams and yoni eggs just so that they can make people make money off of people. And I was like, so what would make you think that you would base something so simple as people are just trying to make money, and that people are not discerning enough. Basically, what you're saying is that people are so ignorant that they would, just buy and suck up that information because somebody's selling it to them. Why would you insult people's intelligence like that? It was just disgusting. So now everybody has their personal preference. Yoni eggs are not for everybody, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's no forced way to do this. There's no one way to do this. There's many pieces to the pod, because I myself, as a Yoni egg workshop facilitator and purveyor, I don't always feel like using my Yoni eggs. Sometimes I go for months without using them because I like to work within alignment with how I feel, and it's not always about having something to fix a problem, because there's no quick fix. Crystals don't fix anything. You have to align your mental state with everything else within your being and listen to yourself. Crystals and Yoni eggs are not here to fix things. They're just here to open you up vibrationally and align you with, the journey that you're on. That's all they're there for. And it's all about your belief systems and, what you think and how you want to manifest that. I personally can attest to the magic of, what crystals have done for me. And I know many other women can too. So it's not to shade us for our practices. But you know what really cracks me the fuck up, and I think is hilariously funny, is the fact that some of us will talk about, we only need water to wash our vagina, which, again, in an ideal situation is the case. But in this day and age, sometimes we need a little help, and there's no shame in that. Yeah. So don't tell a woman that she just